Good afternoon. Welcome, and welcome to our white coat ceremony and blessing of the hands. This is a wonderful day for you and for all of us at the PLU School of Nursing as we celebrate your entry into the field of nursing and honor you with an Arnold P. Gold white coat ceremony combined with the blessing of the hands ceremony. Please stand for the invocation.
As we begin this ceremony, I invite you to join me as you wish in a spirit of prayer. Breath of life. We do not take for granted that there is breath in our lungs. And as we take a moment to breathe in and out, this is our first prayer. We take a moment to arrive in our bodies this afternoon, settling in from our head to our toes, noticing the breath of your Spirit moving among us. Healing Spirit, we gather today as those committed to caring for the wholeness of bodies, minds, and spirits. In learning and study, in simulations and clinicals, enhance our ability to listen deeply, grow our curiosity, and help us to gather the wisdom from this learning community that each will serve as both teacher and learner. Spirit of wholeness, bless this group of healers as they grow in their practice of nursing. Grant them courage, patience, strength, and deep joy. Grant them your grace. Amen.
Please be seated. The discipline, profession, and practice of nursing will demand much of you over your lifetime of work, but it will bring you countless rewards. Please take today to commit to the highest level of integrity, compassion, and continuous growth and learning in your pursuit of excellence in nursing and healthcare. Today's ceremony reminds us that the work we do in nursing is part of a sacred trust between nurse and patient, the patient's family members, the public, our professional colleagues, the profession, and society at large. We are entrusted to share in humanity's most intimate, vulnerable, and life-altering occasions. For that privilege, our hearts, hands, and brains need to be always interconnected with the needs of our patients and in teamwork with our colleagues, working together to provide the highest quality, holistic care for those in need. Our duty as nurses is to provide safe, high-quality, knowledgeable, and skillful care for all human beings, to help others, to do no harm, and to carry out our calling in the spirit of love and compassion for our fellow human beings, hand to hand, heart to heart, and person to person. May your own personal source of joyful spirit grow with you in your pursuit of meaningful practice that makes a difference in the lives of those for whom you have the privilege to provide care for. Today, we have the privilege to hear from Shannon Pulley, a PLU BSN program alumni and nursing director in Multicare. Please join me in welcoming Shannon Pulley.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Who's excited to be here? What, 3 days? Are we 3 days in? I met a couple students out there. Oh, I see you. I found myself lost a little bit for the Regency room. This place has changed a little bit since I've been here. And I had some great nursing students help direct me to the right spot. So my name is Shannon Pulley. I'm the director of the emergency department at Multicare over in Good Sam. I've been a nurse for, goodness gracious, 21 years. 24 years ago, I sat where you sat. I remember sitting in a classroom and a couple girls around me, not really realizing that they were going to end up being in my wedding and really being my really great friends. But sitting next to them, and we enjoyed this kind of conversation about, oh my gosh, where are you from? And, you know, as you guys are doing now, developing some relationships. Have you guys felt that already? Starting to meet some people that you kind of, might like this one later, a couple weeks from now? Yeah? Right? I graduated from PLU in the spring of 2000 and went on to do a ICU residency at St. Joe's. It was awesome. I was in the trauma neuro department of the ICU, so I saw a lot of brain injury and just patients with neck injuries and things that not normal people see. So you kind of come out of it with kind of a twisted brain and you're like, oh, this is cool. I'm in, right? How many of you feel like, I know, like that stuff is kind of fun? You guys there already? Sitting around the dinner table talking about this stuff is kind of strange and awkward, but you love it? Okay, you're fitting in. Jody is my really good friend, and I catch her over there, and we were just having great conversations about the morgue. And we're getting a new one, so we're excited about it. Anyways, I remember looking back on these days, just like you guys are, remembering the nerves that I had, thinking, do I belong here? Am I the one that's supposed to be sitting in this room? I was an education major, and then I took kind of a left-hand turn and went into nursing. Nursing was always my passion. I wanted to be a doctor because that was the only thing I knew, right? And then all of a sudden, this crazy profession called nursing kind of swooped me up, and I was like, hey, I could do this. Being a doctor's too hard, so I'll go into nursing. Well, little did I know, right? I decided I couldn't live without it. Started this great, amazing journey that took me down a whirlwind of opportunities that I feel has created who I am. I started, like I said, down in the neuro ICU, and after about 5 years, realized I needed a little bit of a change. And I watched as I set my sights on, I guess you would call it a summit, right? Just like mountain climbing. You look at Mount Rainier. Anybody who's from Washington? Oh, there's a lot. Who's not from Washington? Maybe. There we are. Have you guys seen that mountain that's out there? And that really tall summit at the top? Do you notice that it changes? It kind of changes with snow. Do you notice that? Sometimes it's really dark. Other times it's got some really great snow cap on it, maybe a cloud or two in the sky. The summit changes. My summit changed. My summit's changed 1,000 times. So as you seek your summit and you're paying attention to what's up there at the top of this mountain, right? Be ready for the change. So I'm going to tell you a little bit how the climb takes place. I started this climb back when my summit was to be the best ICU nurse in all of Tacoma, all of Washington, right? I found out real quickly after about 5 years that, maybe I'm going to have some children and get married. So I have a couple kids and decided to kind of take a break and pull myself off to home, be a mom, right? After about 6 months, oh yeah, that wasn't working. This brain that these guys taught me, like, we needed to go back to the bedside and start working with some patients where my passion didn't mean I didn't love my kids. They're cute. But I needed to do something that was purposeful. Do you guys know my daughter-in-law, Michaela Pulley? You'll meet my daughter-in-law. So my daughter-in-law married my son, who now has a grandchild. So yes, see how the journey is going for me? Let's go back to so distracted. We'll go back to just the kind of the climb that I did. So I had these kids. I stayed home and took care of my family for a little bit. And one day my husband, who was a principal of an elementary school, came home and said, Shannon, something's not right. I got a knee injury. And I was like, oh, okay. What's going on with that, right? And he ended up, we had to wait till summertime before he could have surgery. He had a torn meniscus. And after about 2 weeks after his surgery, he was still taking some narcotics. And I remember thinking, that's kind of funny. Usually at this point, we're looking at Tylenol, not necessarily a, Percocet or whatnot. And come to find out, he started having pain in his joints. And the joint pain was really just like a key indicator of an autoimmune disorder. So after a couple months, we ended up finding out that, yes, he did have rheumatoid arthritis. And if you'll learn in medicine that we do a lot of blanket diagnosing. We give something called rheumatoid arthritis, which ultimately meant we don't really know what it is, but we know you got pain in your joints, and it kind of matches some of these labs, right? So my husband eventually, after about 4 or 5 years, was able to resign, and he's home now, and he hangs out with my kids. So The really cool thing is that my climb involved me being the one to stay home with my kids. And quickly, my summit turned course, right? All of a sudden, my trail became something different. My husband and I work together to make sure that our kids are taken care of, and probably the most important thing is that I have an education to fall back on. I have an education that allows me to go to Africa and have a job. Anybody else can say that? Not many people can say that. I can go to the ends of the world and have a position here. You guys are joining that profession. It's so exciting. You have no idea what you're getting yourselves into. Be really excited, ready for this journey, right? When I talk about my story, I talk about it with a lot of passion because I get the ability to go to work every single day and do what I love. I'm a director of an ED, you guys. There's like crazy coming in, and I am loving every moment of it. My job now is to teach nurses to go forward and learn what that feels like to lead. Nurses are leaders in every moment of every life. We get the chance and the opportunity to stand next to people as they're dying. We get to talk to families and break the news that their patient has, in 25, just coded and has passed away. We help lead them through their sorrow and find our great chaplains that come help them. I had a really great patient one time as I'm doing my climb, right? I had a really great patient that taught me something that I will never forget. He was a young man. He was in his probably early 20s, and he came in after a night of partying, and he was playing Russian roulette with a gun. Had a party with several kids, and unfortunately, he was the lucky one where the gun shot him, and he suffered a pretty severe head injury. My opportunity, I got to go in and be his nurse that next morning, so he came in at nighttime. That morning, the neurosurgeon came in and basically said to me, he will never walk again. He will never talk. He will never see life again. He will be in a nursing home. Now, mind you, he had children at home. So for me, it was like, wow, I'm about 25 years old at this time, brand new nurse like you guys are, and you're thinking to yourself, this is pretty fascinating. He's playing a game with some buddies, and now all of a sudden we're in a pickle. And I cared for him for several weeks in the neuro ICU and sent him off. He lived. We sent him off. At that point, he couldn't talk. He couldn't say anything. We could sit him up in a chair, and we could wash his hair, and one full side was completely paralyzed. And what I would say is probably about 2 to 3 months later, his name was Jacob, came into the department walking. Not very many words were spoken. He managed to hit that part of his brain that really messed with the speech part. And he walked right up to me and gave me a hug. And I remember standing there sobbing. Even to this day, you still get a little choked up, right? When you remember the look in his eyes. As he walked up to me, he clearly knew who I was. So something I was doing in that moment and how I spoke to him and what his family felt from me left some kind of lasting impression that made me who I am today. So as you talk about that summit, which is where you guys are today, looking at this end-all goal of being a nurse, right? You're learning quickly that there are trails to be had here. There's courses to veer off of and take time. That summit's going to change 4,000 times, and chances are you probably will never meet it. I have a hard time getting to mine because every time I go to get to mine, I turn off somewhere else, or my husband gets sick, or a kid needs a baseball game, or whatever. But that summit is huge and very important for us to keep moving forward. The trails are what makes your nursing career full and lively. So enjoy those trails. Know that the summit is small and the trails are what's important. A little bit about the pandemic. There's a great summit that we all are looking at that we find are very a little distracting, right? Who would have ever thought 2 years ago I would have been sitting as an ER director? By the way, decided to take that in the middle of a pandemic. Not very smart. lesson number 2, and deal with a worldwide pandemic that is affecting our nursing staff so dearly. There is nothing like a lot of humility and grace in this time. As you guys go through this journey, it's important that you give yourself that time and that grace to feel it and to understand it and to experience all of this as you make it to the top of your summit. So in closing, I'm excited you guys are here. You have no idea how important this decisions that you made right now and how you've come, and it's going to be fascinating to watch yourselves grow. You've made the best decision of your entire life today, and you're walking into an amazing school that will support you for years and years. Gosh, 24 years later, I'm still back. I keep coming back. Not only supports my family too, right? Welcome to nursing, you guys. Congratulations. It's exciting to see you all. We'll keep going. Thank you so much.
Shannon, your talk brought back memories to me. I started in neuro ICU in my clinical career, and it wasn't the same type of injury, but I remember a 19-year-old with carbon monoxide poisoning that I cared for months and came back, and life was never the same for him, but he did make it, so it touched my heart hearing your story. Now, a little bit about our ceremony today. The PLU School of Nursing received a small grant from the Arnold P. Gold Foundation to bring you this ceremony today. Dr. Arnold Gold was a pediatric neurologist whose belief in the importance of an empathetic bedside manner led him and his wife to create the Arnold P. Gold Foundation to inspire new doctors and nurses to practice compassionate patient care. The White Coat Ceremony is the oldest and most well-known program of the Gold Foundation and was established in 1993 at Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons. At that time, Dr. Gold was a professor of clinical neurology and clinical pediatrics there. He noted that the existing practice of having medical students take the Hippocratic Oath at the end of their training occurred 4 years too late. The Gold Foundation instituted the White Coat Ceremony as a way to emphasize humanism in medicine at the very start of a medical education. In just a few years, the ceremony was adopted by every medical school in North America. Today, 99% of U.S. medical schools hold a White Coat Ceremony. In 2014, recognizing the vital role that nurses play in the healthcare team, the Gold Foundation partnered with the American Association of Colleges of Nursing to adopt a White Coat Ceremony for nursing. Now, more than 360 schools of nursing participate, and the number continues to grow. This is PLU's first time participating in the White Coat Ceremony, and I'm pleased that we are doing this. PLU nursing students do not traditionally wear white coats in their clinical work. So our ceremony today will incorporate white coats in the form of a pin for each of you provided by the Arnold P. Gold Foundation. Soon we will call students forward to receive their pin from our faculty coordinators of the entry-level MSN program and the BSN program, Jody Erickson and Tracy Holt, respectively. Our ceremony today will also incorporate a blessing of the hands. This is a tradition for our students and faculty, the sharing together in a spiritual reflection on the interconnectedness of the art, science, and practice of nursing. We come together to bless the healing work of those of you that are about to begin your clinical work. You rely on one another and work together in this community to bring healing to people who come to you. Through blessing your hands today, we honor that these are holy hands given to fulfill sacred purposes. This blessing symbolizes the sacredness of our everyday lives and work. Through this blessing, we recognize holy presence with us here and now. Anointing with oil is an ancient practice that is often associated with healing and the divine. Prophets, priests, and kings were anointed to signify a special calling. Today, we will invite students, faculty, and staff, if they so choose, to receive an anointing and blessing of your hands. Using oil, they will anoint your hands, saying the words, "May your hands be blessed with healing and holy touch." And now on to the ceremony.
Oh gosh, sorry, should have worn heels today. Students, please come forward to receive your commemorative pin and optional hand blessing from School of Nursing faculty. Bring your name card and form a line here to my left. I will read your name, and you can walk across to receive your pin from either Dr. Tracy Holt or Jody Erickson. You may then proceed to any of the 3 faculty or staff that will be throughout the room to receive your blessing. Doctors Rick Knowlton, Jessica Schwink, and Deb Sagan. Then you may return to your seat. I will go ahead and dismiss this side of the room first to come forward. Come on, somebody's got to be first. I'm going to move kind of fast, so go ahead and step up when it's your turn. George Murray. Thanks, but let's leave all the applause till the end. There's a lot of you over here. Liberty Southworth. Elena Lorit. Maria Serla. Jess Herklotz. Alexis Harrion. Christelle Cariaga. Hanasi King. Siloe Duarte. Lee Dang. Riley Getz. Maya Weeks. Andrea Deal. Madison Parker. Rachel Kramer. Emma Dickin. Desi Yamauchi. Elizabeth Sylvie. Sandra Sanchez. Gabriella Olwyn Wynn. Claire Cranch. Vanessa Gessel. At this time, I'll dismiss the other side of the room to come on over and line up. Taylor Kay. Riley Yee. Adam Toth. Scott Richardson. Amanda Bill. Megan Lucky. Aaron O'Neill. Chewy Pendiker. Isabel Gabriel. Sarah Hatcher. Helen Gabra. Maureen Ngoche. Carolina Garibay Mercado. Yamile Teresa Guadalupe Moreno. Chunwei Lin. Chloe Knox. Juan Cruz. Alyssa Price. Aaliyah Yoon. Raynell Lau. Christy Price. Chantal Valida. Abigail Munoz. Sorry. Thank you, everybody. Cole. Shaylin Caesar. Eden Radke. Jamie Birdie. Kaya Moan. Izzy Kroll. Jake Olson. River Rector. Chenda Nuon. Kaylee Bailey Baker, Paige Serwold, Elizabeth Kraupa, David Yugatafa, Vicky Mai, Nicole Wooldridge, Catherine Arnold, Bryce Sharif, Alex Hogan, Jamie Jew, Sabrina Petron, and Victoria Strauss. All right. Thanks, everybody, and congratulations. I will invite Pastor Jen Root up for a responsive prayer.
All right. I invite you to join me in the all parts there. Spirit of wisdom, we come seeking you for the work of healing you have given our hands to do. Thank you for working through our hands to provide healing. Help us to remember that by our presence, our words, and our actions, we offer to others your life, your hope, and your love. Help us never to use our hands to push away those whom we need, nor those who need us. May we use our gifts to bring healing to those whom you place in our care. Divine wisdom, spirit of love and grace and healing, may we feel your deepest blessing on the work of our hands. May your power within and among us bring healing to the lives we touch. Bless our gifts as we continue to become all you created us to be in your divine image, now and always. Amen.
Thank you, everybody, for your attendance today. This concludes our ceremony. I invite you to grab a cookie in the back. We have some pre-wrap to go. And I guess I want to quickly take stock. We have John, our photographer, here. If we maybe want to grab both of the cohorts and get a group picture, we can do that. I think that would be great. If we'd like to have maybe the ELMs first, go ahead and gather right on the left side of the room, and maybe we'll take your picture. So BSNs, do you want to gather on the other side of the room and start scrunching together so we can grab a picture for you?